So we'll start with the next circuit, that is adder and subtractor. And as far as lab is concerned, inverting and non-inverting amplifiers, you should be able to do that. Okay. In case you have any problem in doing the practical, you should convey that. Okay. So today we'll start with adder and subtractor. If time allows, we'll go to voltage to current converter. Fine. So we'll write the title adder. So we are having one more operation through the same block, that is operational amplifier, that is addition. So what the adder circuit does is it adds multiple signals and produces a signal corresponding to addition of input signals. Right. So let us draw the circuit diagram first. I'll draw the circuit. Let us draw the circuit diagram on fresh paper. So the circuit diagram will involve multiple inputs because we have to add them, like V1 with respect to ground, V2 with respect to ground, and maybe V3 with respect to ground. So we have three inputs, V1, V2 and V3. Okay. Then these three signals through the resistors are combined. Again an op amp is connected. And the output is taken with respect to ground. VO. So everybody understood this? R1, R2 and R3. We'll call this as RF, feedback resistor. Is this properly visible? Okay, good. So please draw the circuit diagram. It's a simple one. When done, type D. Okay, good. Now what we will do is first ask some questions. Let us ask some questions. The first question, that is this a linear circuit? Okay, how do we understand that? First of all, the operation amplifier works in active region. So it means it works in linear region. Then all the components which we have, this component, all the components are resistors, they themselves are linear. So this circuit can be linear if the op amp is in active region. Okay, so we conclude that this is a linear circuit. Okay, second point is that for linear circuit, if there are multiple inputs, we can apply superposition theorem. Yes or no? Everybody understood this much? That is, for linear circuit we can apply superposition theorem. Okay, shall we go ahead? Okay, so how do we apply superposition theorem? We have to consider only one input at a time. Other two will be considered 0. Okay, next time the second one will be considered, third time the last one will be considered. In every case the other two will be 0. Okay, now let us apply that superposition theorem. So case 1, only V1 present, V1 is equal to there, V2 is equal to V3 is equal to 0. Okay, if V2 and V3 are 0, then there is no contribution. So let me draw a small circuit here in a simplified way. Okay, so let us ask some questions. What is this voltage? 0 volt. Since there is a feedback, we can assume that there is a virtual short concept existing. So Vn will also be 0 volt. Yes or no? Vn will also be 0 volt. If Vn is 0 and these two are grounded and V1 is present, then there will be current only due to V1 and current due to V2 and V3 will not be there, because V2 and V3 they are equal to 0. Okay, so let us rub out this. Okay, so this terminal voltage being 0 volt, voltage across R1 will be equal to V1, and therefore current will be V1 by R1. Okay, and this current will flow. It cannot go here because this terminal and this terminal, they are equipotential. This terminal and this terminal both are 0, so current cannot flow. So this is not possible. Obviously this also is not possible for the same reason. So the only possibility is this, and this is also not possible because the op amp doesn't take any current. So this possibility is also gone. The only possibility remains is that the current will go this way. Okay, so we'll write down this as RF. Left hand side of RF, that is this side, will be at 0 potential because of virtual short. So let us write down here 0 volt. Okay, and because of the current that is flowing, because of this current that is flowing, there will be positive and negative. This is the polarity of voltage that is available because the current is flowing from left to right. Okay, so the amount of voltage will be equal to Rf is equal to current into resistance. So this will be equal to I, which is V1 by R1 into resistance, that is Rf. Okay, so this is again equal to VO, that is minus of V1 by R1 into Rf, because it is reverse polarity. It is less than 0 when the input is positive. Did you understand this? Okay. So can you repeat this for VO? We will call this as VO dash because it is only for V1. We will write down the equation for VO double dash and VO triple dash. Apply virtual short concept as well as superposition theorem for V2 and V3 available, other two being not available. So write down VO double dash and VO triple dash. So VO VO dash will be equal to minus V1 by R1 into Rf. VO double dash will be minus V2 by R2 into Rf. VO triple dash will be equal to minus V3 by R3 into Rf. And then final VO will be sum of these two, VO dash plus VO double dash plus VO triple dash, and therefore Rf will be common, minus sign also will be there, or we can write simple way, in simple way, minus V1 minus Rf by R1 into V1 plus Rf by R2 into V2 plus Rf by R3 into V3. Now consider all resistors equal, that is R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3, and then update this formula. Find out what do you get. When finished, type D. Okay, good. So what did you get? Did you get equation of an addition? Though there is a negative sign which is common, you are getting addition of the signals. Okay. If you need true inversion, true addition without inversion, what will you do? If you don't want that negative sign, what will you do? If R1 equal to R2 equal to R3 equal to say R, then VO is equal to minus V1 plus V2 plus V3. Now if you don't want this V2, negative sign, don't want this negative sign, then you have to invert this once more. It means you have adder circuit. Therefore, this is called as adder circuit. Everybody might have understood this. And after that, you have one more inverter and one more stage, which is having equal resistors R and R. So gain will be -1, V1, V2, V3, all with respect to ground, and VO. In this case, VO will be, this VO will be sum of these three inputs if all our resistors are equal. Everybody understood this? Fine. Now let me ask you a question and then you will try to draw the waveform. See, if I give you static values like 2 volts, 3 volts, 4 volts, you can easily add that. Okay, that is not an issue. So let me give you something by which you will start thinking. Suppose V1 is DC voltage 5 volt and V2 is equal to a sine wave of say 1 volt, 1 kilohertz sine wave, 1 volt peak sine wave, and V3 is equal to 0. Then draw the VO. This is a sine wave. So everybody will draw the waveform. Everybody understood the problem at least? Siddhi, Pooja, Madhura, Hansraj, did you understand the problem? Okay, good. Now to draw the final waveform. Everybody will do small thing. These are simple things. So given data is like this. We have two waveforms given. One is 5 volt DC. The other waveform is a sine wave of 1 volt. -1 volt, and the time period is time period is 1 millisecond because the frequency is 1 kilohertz. And now there will be addition. The third signal is 0, so there is nothing to add. So what will be the addition? The addition will be basically 5 volt signal. This is 5 volt signal. On 5 volts, this will be superimposed and this whole thing will be inverted because we have inverting adder. So what we will do is we will modify this because the output will be negative. So we will shift the reference slightly above So this is our reference because we have to draw negative waveform. So minus 5 volt. Okay. This output is contributed by this fellow. All resistors are equal. And what this fellow will contribute will be same waveform but reversed. So let us draw that. Now this, whenever this is positive, the output will be negative. It means output will be like this. Okay, amplitude should also be the same, 1 volt, like this. So this will be the final output. And in the diagram, 0 volt is here. Here it is 0, here it is 0. Hope you are able to understand this. Okay. Fine. Now let me change the problem from fixed 5 volt to 2 to 3 volt variable. Now how do you get variable? We have a potentiometer. It is connected as to say 5 volt, and we are adjusting this in such a way that the output is 2 to 3 volt variable. So what will be the change in the waveform? What will be the change in the output waveform? This waveform. If V1 is 2 volt and then V1 is 3 volt, or in between, what will happen to this waveform? Will there be change in sine wave? No. Then what will be the change? The change will be that this level will become up or down depending on the value that we set as V1. Yes or no? This will be going up or down. Yes or no? Okay. It means it is possible by using adder. What is possible? Right now this waveform is around 0 level. This is around 0 level because this is 0. Okay, but if you want to shift it to any other level, then you can have adder circuit, so you can have this much shift. If you want to alter the shift, then you can alter V1 to different values. So this amount of shift can be adjustable. Everybody understanding this? Right. So the question is, can the adder be used as level shifter? Yes, it can be used. It is one of the application of adder circuit. Right. In case of audio signal or songs that we listen, there are many tracks. Male track, female track, then tabla track and other instruments instruments. So all these tracks can be separately recorded and they can be mixed by having the adder circuit. Okay. Of course, nowadays everything is digital, so this is rare. But wherever we need analog signals to be added or slight shift of the waveform is needed, this circuit is very handy. Everybody understanding this? Fine. So wherever the cost is the matter, and you have to play with the analog signal itself before it is converted to digital, then this is very useful. Okay, so there are two approaches. One, you use a controller, some processor, and then take the inputs V1, V2, V3, convert into digital individually and add them in digital domain. It means add digitally. The other approach is that take V1, V2, V3, then add them in analog domain, add in analog, and final VO you convert that into digital and then process. So whatever is the approach, whatever the application demands, you should be able to do that. That is the purpose. Everybody understood this? So one approach is good and the other approach is bad. It's not like that. It depends on the situation where the approach is to be used. Okay, everybody understanding this? The world is going digital, everybody agrees with this. But the signals are analog. So you need to have analog adder at times. Getting this idea? Okay, good. Now let us take one problem. Let us take one problem. Suppose the input is V1 is equal to 2 volt, V2 is equal to 3 volt, V3 is equal to 4 volt, R1 is equal to 1 K, R2 is equal to 2 K, R3 is equal to, I think we'll keep the life simple, we'll keep all the resistors equal, because we want to learn the things, not do calculations, and RF is equal to 5K. Now find out VO. It's a very simple thing, but quickly do that. And supply VCC VEE is plus minus 12 volt. And the output, V output maximum, that is saturation level, we assume it to be plus minus 11 volt. It means 1 volt drop the op amp is taking. So maximum output the op amp can produce is plus minus 11 volt. Minus 45. This is the answer from Dashrath. Okay, good. Okay, he has calculated by equation. Next, somebody else, minus 11, minus 11. Dashrath, did you understand? Okay, so everybody understood this, that the circuit is adder, no doubt. The circuit is adder, but it has its own constant, that the supply is only plus minus 12 volt. If you supply plus minus 12 volt and we know that the output is maximum plus minus 11 volt, the output will be limited to this. Okay, under this condition, will VO be sum of input signals? Yes or no? No, it won't be there, right? It means the circuit will not work as adder. Why? Because the output is saturated. Okay. So then the next question is, will the virtual short be present? Madhura says no. Prachi says yes. Omkar says yes. Amol says no. So what is the correct answer? Dashrath says yes. What are the conditions for virtual short to be present? First condition is that there should be feedback. Is there a feedback in the circuit? Yes. Then output should not be saturated. It should be in active region. This is the second. Now, is this condition fulfilled? When the output gets stuck to 11 volt? No, right? Therefore, virtual short, will it be present? No, it will not be present. Okay. So, virtual short will not be present. Everybody understanding this? Fine. Everybody agreeing that the virtual short will not be there? So, how do you understand that the answer is correct or not? The process is like this. The process is, how do you understand the output is correct or not? The process is, number one, apply the formula or virtual short. I think apply the formula assuming virtual short to be true. Find VO. Then if it is more than Vsat, plus minus Vsat means maximum voltage that output can produce. Then if it is more than plus Vsat, calculated output voltage, then output will not be true value, it will be limited to saturation. Then virtual short cannot be applied. Okay, in that case the output will be limited to either plus Vsat or minus Vsat depending on the polarity of the signal. In the above case, it is minus 11 volt. Everybody understanding this process? So first you use the formula, no problem, but then you apply the constraint of the battery supply voltage. If the calculated output voltage is less than the saturation voltage, then we are happy. Then we say that the virtual short is okay. But if it is more than the saturation voltage, calculated voltage is more than saturation voltage, then we know that it cannot go beyond that actual voltage, so virtual short cannot be applied. Everybody understanding this? Okay. Now, if virtual short cannot be applied, it means Vn is not equal to Vp. Everybody agrees with this? Not means, then means how much? Okay, Vn is not equal to Vp. Then what is the value of Vn? Then you can calculate that. So how to calculate that? Let us quickly draw the circuit and write the values V1, V2, V3, 2 volts, 3 volts, 4 volts. Then 1K, 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 5K is the feedback resistor. Okay, what is the output that you computed? Minus 11 volt. Let me ask you a question. If I change this 4 volt to 4.5 volt, what will be the output? With 4 volt, it was minus 11. But if I change it to 4.5, what will be output? Why you are taking so much of time? Yes, it's only 11 volt because it cannot go beyond that. You are all right. Okay. It means the output will get stuck to minus 11. The op amp will start working as a battery. I repeat this. The op amp will start working as a battery rather than working as an amplifier. Okay. So, if the output is minus 11, we can temporarily remove this just for sake of calculation, and we can simply write here minus 11 volt and do the analysis of the circuit. So, in this case we can find this voltage, we can compute Vn, which will not be, Vn will not be equal to 0 because Vp is equal to 0. That you can calculate using superposition theorem. You can calculate that. Will it be possible to find Vn? Okay, so do that whenever you find time today. So we'll take a pause, but before taking pause, we'll have a very quick recap. So we started with an adder circuit, which is able to add multiple analog signals. So the circuit we had drawn, then we understood that it's a linear circuit. We can apply superposition theorem. We applied superposition theorem, and when we equated all the resistors, then we got the output equal to minus of V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay, then we took some case where we can add analog signals. Then we understood that if one of the input is adjustable, the output is also getting adjusted, so we can use it as a level shifter. Then we understood it can be used for audio signal addition. Then you can have digital domain addition also. Sometimes that is not possible, so we have to use analog domain. Then we understood for some other case that the output is saturated, and we understood that virtual short cannot be present. If virtual short is not present or present, how can we understand? We use the formula assuming virtual short, find VO. If it is more than plus minus V set, we conclude that virtual short cannot be applied. When virtual short cannot be applied, Vn is not equal to Vp, then how much? For that, we will use this analogy that the output is constant, and then we can use superposition theorem again and find out Vn. and we will find that this is not 0. Okay, so this much we understood today. And did you understand today's topic? Okay, next time we will draw currents. I think you can draw currents, all currents, draw all currents. When the output is saturated and when the output is not saturated. Output saturated and output not saturated. Both the cases you create and draw the currents. Okay, next time we'll ask some questions based on that and try to understand. Anyway, so let us take a pause. Shall we take pause? Today's circuit was relatively simple. Next time we will take some more set of circuits. But if we understand the fundamental circuits properly, later on we will be able to analyze other circuits very easily. So I think let us take a pause. Shall we take a pause? Okay. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Yes, good day.